Tokyo, October 1968. At the Tokyo Motor Show, Honda unveiled something that would change motorcycling forever, a four-cylinder machine that established an entirely new category of motorcycle. The CB750 Four wasn't just another new model, it represented a fundamental shift in motorcycle engineering and design. This is the story of Honda's revolutionary CB750 engine, the power plant that didn't just win races and customers. It accelerated the decline of Britain's motorcycle industry and established the blueprint for modern superbikes. By 1967, the motorcycle world was dominated by established patterns. British twins from Triumph, BSA, and Norton ruled the large displacement category. These machines had character and heritage, but they also had limitations. Vibration was considerable at highway speeds, oil leaks were common, and maintenance was frequent. American riders wanted power and reliability. The British twins offered the former but struggled with the latter. Maintenance was a constant companion of ownership, with regular adjustments needed to keep these machines running properly. Soichiro Honda had already proven his company could compete on the world stage. His small displacement bikes had won at the Isle of Man TT, and Honda had established itself as a manufacturer of quality motorcycles. But the company had bigger ambitions. Honda's engineering team in Hamamatsu faced a significant challenge: create a high-performance motorcycle that would deliver power without sacrificing reliability. The specifications weren't just ambitious, they represented a complete rethinking of what a production motorcycle could be. No manufacturer had successfully mass-produced a transverse inline-four motorcycle engine at a competitive price point. The complexity was considered prohibitive, the manufacturing tolerances too tight, the cost too high. Kawasaki had experimented with a four-cylinder design, the project that would eventually become the Z1, but hadn't brought it to market. The engineering challenge was substantial, but Honda had the technical expertise and manufacturing capability to attempt what others considered impractical. Honda's multi-cylinder GP racing experience, particularly with machines like the RC166 six-cylinder racer, directly influenced the CB750's architecture and provided valuable engineering insights. What emerged from Honda's development program was a 736 cubic centimeter inline-four engine that produced about 67 horsepower at 8,000 RPM, according to contemporary tests. For comparison, the Triumph Bonneville, Britain's flagship, produced around 46 horsepower from its 650 cubic centimeter twin. The technical specifications told only part of the story. The CB750's engine incorporated several design elements that set it apart from its contemporaries. The engine featured a forged 5-main bearing crankshaft, as reported in period tests. Honda used precision forging and casting methods adapted from its automotive division, achieving manufacturing tolerances that were difficult for competitors to match. This robust design contributed to the engine's smooth operation and durability. While British twins typically operated with significant vibration at highway speeds, the CB750's inline-four configuration and balanced crankshaft delivered power with remarkable smoothness. The single overhead camshaft design represented a departure from the pushrod systems common in British motorcycles. This configuration allowed for more precise valve actuation and higher potential RPM. The valve train required less frequent adjustment than pushrod systems, contributing to the engine's reputation for low maintenance. 4 separate Keihin carburetors fed the engine, each one dedicated to a single cylinder. This arrangement provided consistent fuel delivery across all cylinders, contributing to smooth throttle response and consistent performance. British twins typically used 1 or 2 carburetors to feed both cylinders, which could result in uneven fuel distribution. The 4x4 exhaust system was visually distinctive and functionally effective. Each cylinder had its own exhaust pipe, reducing back pressure and creating the CB750's characteristic exhaust note. This design helped the engine breathe efficiently, maximizing power output. The CB750 featured both electric and kickstarting systems. The electric starter was a significant convenience feature that many riders appreciated, while the kickstarter provided a backup option if the battery was depleted. The engine's construction incorporated several durability-focused elements. The cylinders used cast-iron liners in an aluminum block for effective heat dissipation and longevity. The engine employed conventional battery coil ignition with contact points, standard for the era but well executed in the CB750. Contemporary road tests praised the engine's smooth power delivery and reliability. Motorcycle journalists noted the absence of oil leaks, a common issue with British motorcycles of the period, and the consistent performance across a wide RPM range. Beyond the engine itself, the CB750 introduced another significant innovation. It was the first mass-produced mainstream motorcycle with a front disc brake. This feature complemented the engine's performance capabilities, providing stopping power to match the motorcycle's speed potential. Conflict and challenge. The motorcycle establishment viewed Honda's creation with a mixture of skepticism and concern. British manufacturers, long accustomed to dominating the large displacement category, recognized the potential threat the CB750 represented. Period observers doubted the CB750's long-term durability and questioned whether the complexity of a four-cylinder engine was necessary or desirable. Some suggested that the sophisticated design would prove troublesome in real-world use. British manufacturers responded to the challenge. Triumph and BSA had already developed their own three-cylinder models, the Triumph Trident and BSA Rocket 3, which launched slightly before the CB750 reached showrooms late 1968. These motorcycles represented Britain's answer to the changing market, but they were evolutions of existing technology rather than the clean-sheet design Honda had pursued. Within Honda, the production challenges were substantial. Mass-producing a four-cylinder motorcycle engine at a competitive price point required precision manufacturing capabilities and strict quality control. The tolerances were tighter, the assembly more complex, and the quality standards higher than anything previously attempted in motorcycle manufacturing. The technical challenges extended beyond the factory. Dealers would need to learn how to service this new design, and part supply chains would need to be established. The CB750 represented not just a new product, but a new approach to motorcycle design and maintenance. Triumph and vindication. When the CB750 reached American showrooms in early 1969, after being previewed to US dealers in Las Vegas in January 1969, it created immediate interest. The British launch followed in April 1969 at Brighton. At $1,495 in 1969, the CB750 offered technology unmatched by any competitor at that price. It delivered more power, more features, and newer technology than its competitors at a competitive price point. The combination proved irresistible to many riders. The real validation came from the road. The CB750 delivered on its promises of performance and reliability. Owners reported fewer maintenance issues than they had experienced with other large displacement motorcycles. The engine's smooth power delivery and the motorcycle's overall refinement set new standards for production motorcycles. Cycle World and Cycle Magazine used the term superbike in their 1969-70 reviews, recognizing that the CB750 represented a new category of motorcycle that combined high performance with practicality and reliability. Racing success added to the CB750's reputation. At Daytona in 1970, Dick Mann rode a race-prepared CR750 based on the production CB750 to victory in the Daytona 200, beating factory entries from other manufacturers. This victory demonstrated that the CB750's performance potential matched its reliability. By the mid-1970s, Honda had sold hundreds of thousands of CB750s worldwide, about 449,000 built in the first decade. The model's success was unprecedented and established Honda as a leader in large displacement motorcycles. During this same period, the British motorcycle industry faced mounting challenges. While the CB750's success contributed to these difficulties, it wasn't the sole cause. Labor disputes, outdated manufacturing facilities, limited investment in new technology, and management issues all played significant roles in the British industry's decline. The industry impact. The CB750's influence extended far beyond its sales figures. It established a template that would define motorcycles for decades to come. In Coventry, England, and other centers of British motorcycle manufacturing, the industry contracted significantly during the 1970s. Factories closed, and skilled workers lost their jobs as companies struggled to compete in the changing marketplace. The cultural impact was equally significant. The CB750 attracted a new type of motorcycle enthusiast, riders who valued performance and reliability over tradition and character. These riders weren't interested in the maintenance rituals that British motorcycle ownership often entailed. They wanted machines that performed consistently without constant attention. The CB750 became the blueprint for what would later be called the Universal Japanese Motorcycle, UJM, a format that combined an inline-four engine, disc brakes, and reliable electronics in a standard motorcycle configuration. This approach would dominate motorcycle design through the 1970s and into the 1980s. American motorcycle culture adapted to this new paradigm. While some traditional enthusiasts dismissed Japanese motorcycles, the market spoke clearly. Riders voted with their wallets, choosing the performance, reliability, and value that the CB750 and its successors offered. Legacy and modern relevance. Today, more than 50 years later, the CB750's influence remains evident in modern motorcycling. The inline-four engine configuration it popularized continues to power many of today's high-performance motorcycles. Original CB750s have become collectible, with well-preserved examples commanding significant prices. The model's historical importance is widely recognized, with the CB750 frequently appearing on lists of the most significant motorcycles ever produced. In 1999, the CB750 was named to the AMA Hall of Fame's list of 100 most significant motorcycles of the 20th century. The CB750 engine established a standard for reliability and performance that transformed rider expectations. Before the CB750, high performance often came with a maintenance penalty. After the CB750, riders expected their motorcycles to deliver both performance and reliability. Modern Honda engines trace their lineage to the CB750. While technology has advanced significantly, the fundamental approach, prioritizing both performance and reliability, remains consistent. The CB750 SOHC was replaced by the DOHC CB750K/F in 1979, demonstrating the fundamental soundness of its design. The engine's influence extended beyond Honda. Kawasaki's Z1, Suzuki's GS750, and Yamaha's XS750 all followed similar design philosophies, creating the Japanese dominance of the large displacement motorcycle market that continues to this day. For riders over 45, the CB750 represents a pivotal moment in motorcycling history. Many remember the transition from British dominance to Japanese leadership in the motorcycle industry. The CB750 was at the forefront of that change, establishing new standards for what riders could expect from their machines. The engineering evolution. The CB750 engine's design proved remarkably durable. The basic SOHC configuration remained in production for nearly a decade, with only incremental changes, demonstrating the soundness of the original engineering. Honda's racing experience informed the CB750's development. The company had competed successfully in Grand Prix racing, developing sophisticated engines for that purpose. This racing knowledge translated into the CB750's design, though in a form adapted for production and everyday reliability. The decision to maintain the SOHC design for an extended period reflected Honda's practical approach to engineering. The SOHC configuration provided an effective balance of performance, reliability, and manufacturing practicality. While more advanced designs were technically possible, the CB750 engine delivered what riders needed without unnecessary complexity. When Kawasaki introduced the Z1 with its DOHC engine in 1972, it represented the next evolutionary step. Honda eventually followed with its own DOHC design in 1979, but the original SOHC engine had established the foundation upon which these advancements were built. This measured approach to development characterized Honda's engineering philosophy: evolution rather than constant revolution. The company focused on delivering reliable performance rather than chasing specifications or incorporating technology for its own sake. By the end of the 1970s, Honda's four-cylinder formula had become the global benchmark. What had seemed revolutionary in 1969 was now the industry standard, with virtually every manufacturer offering their own interpretation of the inline-four concept. The CB750 engine's story illustrates how thoughtful engineering can transform an industry. Honda didn't just build a more powerful engine, they reimagined what a motorcycle engine could be, balancing performance, reliability, and manufacturability in a way that established new standards for the entire industry. The CB750 defined the modern superbike and set new reliability standards that all manufacturers eventually had to meet. Its influence extended beyond its direct competitors to shape rider expectations and industry practices for decades. Perhaps the most significant legacy of the CB750 engine is how it democratized high performance. Before the CB750, powerful motorcycles required mechanical sympathy and regular maintenance. The CB750 made high performance accessible to riders who weren't mechanics, who simply wanted to enjoy the experience of motorcycling without the constant companion of maintenance. In doing so, the CB750 engine didn't just change motorcycling, it expanded it, bringing new riders into the fold and establishing patterns that continue to shape the motorcycles we ride today.